Hey everybody, welcome to the podcast. This is Kyle here.
I'm Alex.
Hi, I'm Nick.
And we have a special guest sitting here with us.
Hi, I'm Jodi.
Jodi, Nick's girlfriend, and my personal bestie for quite a while. So here we go, episode 2 of the podcast, corresponding obviously with episode 2 of Ghost and episode 33 of Ninja. So let's get into Ninja. Let's get into what we came here for. So Shinobi 33, the kunoichi that loved Yakumo. Once again, we've got this weird thing with Yakumo and a yokai, and it's
the first time with his possessed lawnmower was kind of funny.
Yeah, it was. So the yokai mistakenly falls in love with Yakumo.
She thinks he's flirting with him the entire time.
She thinks he's flirting with him. He's not. She poisons everyone, and then he tricks her to get the poison. So you know, nothing real new here. It's something we've seen before.
It did have kind of a filler feeling, if that makes sense.
It did have a little bit of a filler feeling, and I feel like that's going to happen now because this is. The last big thing that we were going to get was Gekiyatsu Daio.
Mm-hmm.
And we got Gekiyatsu Daio. The only thing left is to do Hao Gekiyatsu Daio, which will probably come in the next 2 episodes or so. And then we'll be done with the big things, and it'll just have to ride on the story. So they're going to have to do a couple of filler things. So we'll see how this goes moving forward. Yeah, a bit of a filler episode, not anything too spectacular to mention.
I will say I do love the design for the bad guy, but what's her name again?
The particular yokai, or
I think it was like something involving bees. So
the Izuyoi ninja.
Suzumebachi.
Suzumebachi, yeah. So Suzumebachi, the poison arrow ninja.
Huh? Her design was nice. I liked it.
Yeah. What's nice about this one too, not a yokai that was not overtly female. There wasn't like anything that's like, there were some feminine features, but nothing that
mostly
screamed female. It was mostly the voice.
There wasn't anything else like in the shows where just like, oh, it's a monster, but it's a girl. Let's give it giant boobs.
Which is refreshing to see because
yes.
A lot of times when they do female anything, they make sure boobs, slim waist, big hips. Absolute 100% female, no question. And to see a don't mind that, anyone. That was just my computer being dumb. Maybe you didn't even hear it. I don't know. It's nice to see that there's not this overt feel of this is a woman. We want you to know this is a woman. Here's a woman. It's nice that it's just sort of not in the background, but just not in your face. So that was good to see, but really nothing so super special about this episode. I don't feel like I have anything else to say about this newest episode of Ninja. Do you, Alex?
Not really. Like I said, it was a filler. It was.
Nick still hasn't caught up yet.
I'm sorry. Trying to watch 30 episodes in a week.
Yeah, it's nuts.
You're weak. You are weak.
Yeah. You were saying, Alex, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was fillery, so there wasn't really much to it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But Ghost, let me tell you.
Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to Ghost.
Because that was amazing.
So Ghost, Blitz Inventor King, all about Edison getting the Edison Damashi. We see the full intro now. This episode, because the first episode didn't have that, obviously. So we see the first episode.
I loved it, honestly.
Or the first
I loved seeing the
intro.
Seeing the 4 hoodies that I guess are going to be the mains for him so far.
Yeah.
We see Musashi, Edison, Newton, and Robin, which so far design-wise is my favorite.
Robin Hood is a good-looking one. I always, they came out with the one icon, Newton, in the Surprise Drive, or Surprise Future special.
Yeah.
So, I saw that was 04. And, saw there was Ore, Edison and Musashi.
And those were always 1 and 2.
Yeah.
We never saw 3. We're just like, who's 3? Who the fuck?
See,
is
I
3?
didn't see the 1 and 2 on Musashi and Edison, so I didn't know. So I just thought Ghost was 1, Musashi 2, Edison 3, and Newton
No,
4.
form change.
No idea that there was a Robin Hood
Form
until
change.
this episode.
Form change ones are always going to be letters.
Yeah.
Oh.
Spectre's going to have an S. Which, speaking of, we see Spectre next, and when they bring in a second common writer so early, you know the series is going to be good.
Oh, yes. Because Gaim did the same thing. Gaim was super quick
There
to
were like
bring
a
out
dozen
Baron.
of them, so
Yeah.
it was like
But-
every other episode you got someone new coming in.
His secondary writer specifically is Baron, and seeing him come in episode 2 was super quick.
Baron, the incarnation of dickness.
Okay, so Baron's not a great guy, but that's beside the point. That's totally beside the point. So we see Edison. We see how things, I guess, are gonna go with trying to get the new icons, trying to get the 15 great men together.
Which one thing we did see is what happens when an unsealed icon hoodie that's not been put in an icon yet happens when a Ganma.
Yes, that was so
Because I've
good.
always wondered, like, can the Ganma? Because I'm guessing they can use the power from an icon once they take it, but if they have just the hoodie that's not been sealed away, is it just what are they gonna do with it? Apparently, they suck that thing in and become some giant berserk monster.
Yes. So that's going to be cool to see if they actually keep going with that, or if they're going to do the typical writer thing and do it once, like they did with Gaim.
My biggest question is that are they going to be lucky and that every time that happens, the monster and the hoodie have coinciding themes? Because the monster in this episode was like
Electricity
like
based.
he was what was it, like a Tesla coil kind of thing?
Yeah.
Like a
Inevitably,
electric
they'll write it that way.
something like that. Probably. So if it happens, what in the next episode with Robin, is the next monster going to be based off of a bow and arrow, and it'll suck up Robin? And
Probably not. They probably won't do that next episode
Two
because they
episodes in a row.
just did
Just an
that.
example.
Yeah. They
We
might
did-
do it with Newton. That'd be cool.
we did get to see though what happens when the Ghost Striker combines with the Captain.
How
Ghost
everything opens up. Yeah, Captain Ghost appeared and
to the Iguana
and that
Ghost
was
Striker.
cool. Captain Ghost is a little weird looking to me. I don't know. It seemed, but it's cool. Don't get me wrong. It's weird, but I like it.
I mean,
I like
it
it in a
turns into
weird
an
way.
iguana.
Yeah.
I mean,
That
it
part's
probably
cool.
is a little weird
Yeah.
to begin with.
Still haven't figured out why an iguana. If anyone out there knows, please tell us.
Yeah.
Because, like,
we
apparently
would
there-
love to figure it out.
There's no Japanese mythology involving death and iguanas, so maybe just Japanese kids like iguanas. Who knows?
If anybody knows anything, please. But otherwise, it's just an iguana. It is a ghost horse bike combined with a ghost ship to make an iguana with a hood. Ridiculous, absolute ridiculousness. But the way that it fights is wonderful. I love the fight scene between it and whatever.
The
we're gonna-
Berserk Ganma.
Yeah. Is that what we're calling it now? Berserk Gamma?
I guess, because like that's what they called the Roid Me when they sucked up cores and became either the giant bat car, or the giant snake car, or
Yeah.
the giant spider car. They were just Berserk Roid Me.
So I guess that's what we're calling it now.
Until they tell us differently.
I guess.
Like, that's different,
Really great episode, I thought. Really set things up really well for finding new Damashi, new icons. Really set things up well for the Ghost Striker and Captain Ghost and how that whole thing works, and adding in the Ganma hole, and that'll be a plot point that'll come in again. So I thought overall really great episode. We got to see at the very end more of the two bad guys who were in the
Yes.
first episode, the old guy and the younger
Hot guy.
hot.
He's pretty hot. It's okay.
I have to add it. I'm
Okay.
sorry. Just admit it, dude. Just admit it. He's
That's
hot.
fair. He is. He's good looking. So we'll see what they crop up to. Are they also ghosts? Are they ghost hunters? Are they ghost creators? What's going on here?
Are they trying to bring about the new dark age of ghost overlords?
No, we'll see. It looks like it's gonna be good. But I do really enjoy this episode. Anybody else have any thoughts on this episode?
I enjoyed the hell out of the theme song.
Yeah, I did too. The band that did it apparently is actually very popular, and I saw some photos of them from a photo shoot when they were revealed as the people. I guess that they're literally their theme is like the stereotypical bad boy in anime.
That's terrible.
Seriously, that's what their whole look is like. It's pretty cool, but I found a ton of their songs on YouTube, and they are very good.
Yeah. Okay, so as long as we're done with thoughts and feelings on the episode, let's move into our first topic, the music, which I didn't like the theme song. I don't like it. It just doesn't get to
Shame.
me. It doesn't.
Shame.
I don't feel it. Like,
Shame.
I like the music a lot. Different seasons have good music. I liked the theme song for Drive. Fantastic.
Yes.
I thought it was great. A lot of the music for the fights and everything I thought were great. Gaim, terrible music. Awful. I don't care for it. I don't want to listen to it. I don't ever skip over titles on any of these shows, and I skipped over Gaim's opening intro. I just couldn't. I
loved it.
I didn't like it.
I'm not gonna lie, most of the time I skip over Ninjas.
Same.
See, I like Ninjas more than Ghost.
But you don't like Ninja that much.
But I don't like it. Like at all. I mean, my two favorite openings for Kamen Rider is O's. O's had a wonderful opening, and for Sentai is Tokyuger.
Yeah.
Tokyuger, not so much for how well the music is played or the vocals or anything. I just really like how interesting the beat is, because in the beginning they do the cymbals and it sounds like a train just chugging along, and even the bass line throughout the whole song sounds like
a train
chugging along. It's so great. I love it so much.
I agree with you actually on the Tokyuger thing.
It always gets me pumped up.
For me, it's tied with the Gokaiger's opening, really.
Gokaiger was my first Sentai that I ever got introduced to that wasn't Power Rangers, and I didn't really pay attention that much to the opening, and I've just started rewatching Gokaiger.
I love it, and I love the ending theme, honestly.
It's good. It's definitely better than Ninja. It's better than Ghost. It is not up there for me with Tokyuger or anything, but it's still good. It's a good let's go Kaija. Love it.
For my favorite Kamen Rider themes so far, it's actually a three-way tie between O's, Decade, and Den-O.
Den-O I don't like. Den-O I actively hate.
Okay, see, there's the thing. There's two openings to it, and the first one is the one you hear for almost the entire series, right? Mm-hmm. And it's mostly female vocals. And then, I think episode almost 30, I believe, mm-hmm. It changes, and the vocals are done by the Imagine, and I didn't like that one as much. The original one that you hear for the first 30 episodes, I like that one a lot.
Yeah.
Once it becomes Momo and all of them singing, I'm not so much, but it's still good.
I hate it. I actively hate it.
It's a weird
I don't actively hate Gaim's opening, but I do actively hate Decade's opening.
Den-O, you mean?
I thought you said Decade. You know what? Scratch that. I do hate Decades. I like Den-O's. I like Den-O's. I hate Decades. I do like Den-O's. Again, not up there for me with O's, but still better than Decade.
Okay, I get the point. You don't like Decade. God, insulting my poor husband Tsukasa. Hasn't he been through enough? Everyone thinks he's a devil.
I mean,
he's devil's so handsome, though. I'll say that.
You gay bastard.
I love you too.
Speaking of Power Rangers. Because I'm certain I said that in there somewhere.
Actually.
At some point.
Oh! You know what I did is I messed up and totally skipped over Nick's segment. So now we go into Nick's newbie corner. Nick, let's jump back for a second. Nick, what do you feel? You've been watching The Ninja. You've been watching Ghost.
I'm so more invested in Ghost right now. I want to be into Ninja. I'm just red guy, more red guy, boring.
Occasionally one or two of the other ones.
I hit
episode 10.
Yeah, Star Ninja, who's a character in the least sense of the word. He's a thing. It's kind of fun to watch. Americanized yet Asian actor. I thought that was a little weird. It's you can't bring in a white guy for the white character who was in the Middle West. I'm just like, just one white guy, please. Don't Asian wash the white character.
I mean, we did see a white character in Kyoryuger.
Yeah.
So that's their quota that they've hit for the decade. No more white people.
Like I said, it's probably hard to find people who are fluent in Japanese that aren't Japanese.
Well, then just bring in Kyoryu Sion and just give him he's got an upgrade now.
But yeah, so that's Ninja.
He's also dead.
That's
a ghost. He's a ghost.
That's the Ninja.
A spirit.
But Ghost is just... This episode was so action-packed, and I loved it so much. And then seeing the iguana, and then the iguana is kind of sentient, because he hopped off the iguana, and he's like, go get him! And they're just fighting over there, and I'm like, that's kind of cool. Kind of weird.
One other thing I do want to say about this Ghost episode is the very end, the finisher, the Daikaigan Omedama. And then there's a giant icon in the sky, and he just kicks it. And that's a rider kick, ladies and gentlemen. That's how you do a rider kick, is you jump up and do a fucking backflip to kick a giant eye into a hole in the sky. That is how you do a rider kick.
And something else, the iguana thing reminded me of the Tora can from O's.
How?
There's very few instances of the bikes being anything other than a bike, you know? And then you pop the can on, it rolls over the top of the thing, and it becomes the front of it, the feet, the big wheel. And it is sentient to some degree because, you know, the first time he used it, he was in just regular Tatoba, and he's trying to control it, really can't because the thing's berserk as all shit.
Yeah. He's got to go in Tatoba and
La Tolata.
That's it.
He was in Tatoba.
He was in I meant to say La Torata and was thinking Tatoba, so I said it. The combination of the Ghost Striker and Captain Ghost is not the first time that we've seen something like this happen. Like you said with O's, we did get the Tora can. We also have
for drive.
Ride Crossers, which that was special in that 2 rider machines came together. Yeah. We haven't seen that before. So that one was new. But specifically, as far as combining and turning into an animal, we do have the Machine Winger and Wizard Dragon combination. I don't think there was a specific name for that. It was just the Wizard Dragon, and then it was combined with the Machine Winger, so then it had bigger wings that were also wheels. For some reason,
they were wheels.
Japan.
They're
I mean, they were wheels because they were a bike, but still, we all know that.
It's not very common, but the instances where they do take the bike and it's more than just a bike are pretty good. Like Fives' bike, the auto evasion becomes a robot. Kikes' bike turning into that big walker thing when you attach the sidecar. What else? I know there's another one I'm thinking about.
There's never been an instance where they took a rider machine and made it into some sort of weird mech, and it's been a bad thing. It's always been a good thing.
Auto evasion was pretty cool. I loved it.
Yeah. You know, and obviously it didn't happen, as far as any of us know, never happened in the Showa era. It's been a Heisei thing. But that's not a bad thing. It's definitely
While on the subject of rider machines, I'd stab a man for the machine Decatur. Seriously, give me a knife, I'll stab someone. I want the machine Decatur. I don't care if I got to stab.
And that's another thing too. I found a essentially just a picture, a sheet of all of the primary rider machines and the bikes that they were based off of. Because there's not a single rider machine out there that wasn't just built on a bike. A real bike, or a real dirt bike, motorcycle, what have you, car, plane. Because Yongo did have a plane.
Oh gosh, we did, right.
Yeah. Which I did just watch that special recently, and I'll get into that in a second. But all of the bikes and cars and everything that we've ever seen have all been based on something real. Alex's favorite is the Decatur, Machine Decatur. Nick hasn't seen too many of the bikes. Nick, you need to look up the bikes because
Okay.
I want to know. I want to know what you think.
So far, it looks like it's gonna be ghosts.
Ghost
Ghost horse. We'll
you
give
can
it some time.
you can have that temporary opinion, but we're gonna look at some other things.
Okay.
Personally, I love Hibiki's bike, the Gaika. It's I've never been a real big bike person.
Ooh, it's based off a Honda Valkyrie.
Yeah, Gaika, literally victorious fire, and it's a real like motorcycle. It's not a dirt bike like a lot of the riders have. It's just this big beefy machine, and it, despite Hibiki being based on a lot of old Japanese myth, it fits. It fits really well. Despite being, a newer machine, it's fantastic. I love it. Alex just loves that the Decatur is pink.
It's magenta. There's an entire net episode based on that. It's not pink, it's magenta.
I know. Alex is a gay bastard. Anyways.
Bye.
Okay. Bye, bastard. You're still a bastard.
I don't think it's time to leave.
No, but it's fantastic. The Gaika I love. The Gaika. And we will get to Nick's.
You should ask Jodi's.
Speaking of bikes, they did just recently release the Gashapon versions of the Signal bikes.
Oh, nice.
Yes, all the rider bikes. So there is a set. It's actually it comes in 2 sets. It comes in Showa and Heisei. So you can get one set of the Showa Signal bikes and one set of the Heisei Signal bikes. And there's a rider on shift car. And there's Signal bikes for every single bike. Which is, and this part is strange. The ride vendor, personally, I think it looks awful. I think in show, it works for him, but it just doesn't work as a bike. I don't think. As a Signal bike, I think it looks wonderful. I think it's one of the best ones. I think that Signal bike is one of the best ones as a toy. But as a real bike, just doesn't work. Let me pull up a picture so these guys can see. Dead air. Yeah, this is totally fun for everyone. Here we go. Okay, so let me get a good picture pulled up so these guys can see all of them. And actually, I might have to go through a couple of different ones, but okay, so here we've got Agito,
Kuga, Ryuki, Fives, Blade, and Ichigo.
Yes. So these are these bikes. I am a little bit disappointed that for Ryuki they use that weird
bike they used to go into the mirror wall.
Yeah,
right?
I wish that they would have used his powered up bike, but I guess that wouldn't make sense going with everybody else. So they do have the special bike. Or special car for Sango. Sango and Rideron both get bikes, and they do work in the mock driver and the drive driver. Here we've got double O's for
Wizard
and Gaim, which I really think that this does look really good as this kind of bike, and not as a real bike.
Do you think if the show made them look more like that, you would have liked them more?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. But all of these bikes look really good. The Forze's bike, I forget what his was called, but it looks a little weird here. It looks a little bulkier than it should, and so it doesn't quite come across as well. They did make it look a little bit more like a space shuttle in this, though.
Yeah.
So I'm not really going to complain about it, because it does look really good. Let's see if I can find another one that'll show off some more. Okay.
That's all the Heisei.
View image. Here we go. Alright, so here we've got Kuga Agito Faiz, Ryuki Blade Hibiki, which again, love that bike. Kabuto Den-O, Kiva, Decade Double, O's, Forze, Wizard, Gaim, sometimes I forget the names of these things, Ichigo, and we've got the Rider on from Black RX. So here's most of these. Any particular favorites, guys? These,
like I said, Machine
I feel like
Indicator,
all these look pretty good.
Machine Indicator definitely, and probably Kiva's. There we go. This is really cool too.
Kiva's does look pretty good.
One thing I've always wanted to know is, like, even though these are really cool, you know, in the toys, we don't really know what they would do in the show. That'd be cool if they.
Yeah, if they'd shown it at least once, just something. And they did in. So I just watched the Yongo. That was the exclusive Blu-ray that they gave out to the first 100 people who came to the theaters. So I did watch the Yongo special, which was supposed to be in 3 parts, but I downloaded it all at once. And Faiz actually did use his signal bike was featured.
Yeah.
In the Yongo special.
Actually, it's also why.
So they do exist.
Yeah, it's why Kiriko didn't actually lose her memories when the time was changed. Because you see like a little close up of her belt, and she got the thing for holding them, and it flies in for like half a second, and then time changes and it flies off.
In the Sango special?
Yeah.
Oh.
And I think.
See, I saw the bike, but I couldn't see what it was.
I read it on the wiki. I mentioned it, and that's why she was immune to the time changes. That's also apparently why he was immune to it, but he didn't have it on his person at the time.
All right.
Wait. For the third bike down.
Which one?
Yeah. Who's that?
That's Kabuto.
That was cool looking.
Okay. So you like Kabuto. That's cool. Kabuto's a good one. Main character in that one's kind of a dick, but we'll get to that. Tell me I'm wrong, guys. Tell me I'm wrong.
I mean, I'm not going to because you're right, but
exactly.
Still.
And I think
while we're on the thing of signal bikes, I'm going to say it again. I really wish we had seen some of the signal bikes be used more often than like once by Mock.
Yes.
And B, if we could have seen them used by what's his face, by Chase, by my husband, because
at all,
who knows what they could have done with the signal axe. I mean, they could have just, he swings it shoots a blade of energy, and it either splits, it turns into that big stop sign, it stops people. Who knows? It could have done all kinds of cool shit.
Yeah.
We'll never know now. We'll never know.
We will never know.
Because my husband's dead.
Well, I mean, it wouldn't do anything with the axe, because to do something with the axe, they would have had to add that into the toy, and that's all that these shows are for, is to promote toys to sell. Which is fine by me. I love the toys.
Same.
They're fantastic. I own a lot of them, but, that's what these shows are for. So to do that in show, they would have had to add that in
toy form.
In the toys, but there's a limited amount that they can do with the toys. So it's you can't find the Showa ones.
I think Ichigo's the only one who got a bike.
No. They all got one. Maybe I lied. Ichigo was the only one that got one. Let's go with that. Maybe I fucked up. I did do that. But still, the bikes look great. What's nice, keeping with the theme of the toys, I saw a review a while back of the mock driver when it first came out, and by the time it had come out, there were several shift car sets that had already come out. Now the driver has sort of a limited number of sounds that it does. It does say all of the names of all of the shift cars, but when you put signal bikes in, it just says next, type next, or next system. So it doesn't say much. But the mock driver has very specific, although sometimes only slightly different, sounds for every signal bike and every shift car. There is a different name for every single one. There are different Hisatsu sounds. it's one of the most fantastic toys I've ever seen. It's one of the greatest things, and I will absolutely get the Drive Driver, and I will get the Drive Driver because it's the primary driver.
Mock Driver.
I will only get the Mock Driver just because it makes sounds for everything.
That's cool.
The only thing where it doesn't make different sounds is for these legend bikes, where the Hissats for all of them is the same.
It just says the name.
Is that it says the name, and then there's an explosion sound. But I will get both of those. I've never contemplated getting a secondary rider's belt, but I will get that belt just because it makes sounds for everything. And I did notice in those reviews that the Drive Driver, all of the names and everything that it says are all nouns.
Mm-hmm.
And the Mock Driver, all of the names for all of that it shouts out are adjectives or verbs.
Yeah. Huh.
So Max Flair's name in the Mock Driver is Burning.
Yeah. It's all based on the powers he gives him, because I know, what is it? In the Ninja special, what he uses spin mixer,
Mm-hmm.
and it fires the concrete bullets from the cement bullets, whatever the difference is between those two things, from the gun. And it's, I think the name for that one was Trap, because, it traps you.
Yeah. So it was cool.
I really wish we could have seen him use a few more of the shift cards, because think of what he could have done with some of them.
I know.
I would have loved to see him using Midnight Shadow, because just imagine Mock throwing the shurikens and then doing all the duplication thing that Midnight Shadow can do.
Yes.
That would have been
so great.
That would have been amazing.
Mm-hmm. So we talked about Reddit machines. Actually, so I do have a question for our special guest here. So Jodi really is not into Sentai or anything, but about a year and a half ago, I did somehow get her addicted to Power Rangers Ninja Storm. Has not watched a single thing other than that, and is completely content on just doing that, and that's fine. Jodi is an American viewer who has watched Ninja Storm and only that, not knowing anything else. What did you think of the series in general? Just how did you feel about Ninja Storm and the plot points and how well the whole show played out?
I don't know. It was good. It had the perfect ratio of drama and regular story, which is what kept me interested. And I definitely liked the music. Definitely. I still to this day go around screaming Power Rangers Ninja Storm.
Just go ninjas.
But, I don't know.
You liked it though.
I did very much like it, and I wish there was more than one season.
Which I guess is, for some people is a problem that there's not just direct sequel seasons to some of these things.
Do you think if they would do make a Ninja, they're gonna bring back the Red Ranger for the episode?
I hope so. I do. I really would like to see.
The hardest part's gonna be getting back the guy who did the Kaku Ranger version, because apparently there were aliens in that one, so you're gonna have to go from space to.
Yeah, they're gonna have to do an Avatar thing
and
explain
that alien ninjas.
They may not do them without suits. They may just do the suits just by themselves and be okay with that. We'll see. They did that for Gokaiger. Gokaiger, they did the Great Battle, and they did bring back about 10 different people, but
yes, they brought back the pink and red Speed Rescue.
Most of them were just in the suits. But still, if they do redo Ninja, they have an in to bring back Ninja Storm Red and Alien Ranger Red.
What's with the arm?
Or, because, I don't know, I like doing this. Or they could do, since the last iteration of the Mighty Morphin powers were supposed to be based on ninjas, they could do that. I don't know. They might do something with that. We'll see.
Should
We'll see if they do it. Probably not. I don't know. It might be a year or two before we see anything about it. But
maybe longer if they do Tokugers, which, again, probably a long
they
shot.
should do Tokuger.
Like I said, long shot.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So it looks like we're going to be ending this a little bit sooner than normal. As I mean, this is the third-ish episode. But you know, we'll end it here. I was figuring we'd get here.
Do you want to save that for after the credits? The Pearl.
Oh yes, actually, let's talk about that. I almost forgot about that. So we also watch Steven Universe because Toku is not, while it is the center of our lives, it's not the only thing in our lives. And the most recent episode of Steven Universe did have Pearl and Peridot. I don't know who's here and who knows about this, but the characters Pearl and Peridot create robots, and Pearl straight up does a rider kick on Peridot's robot. Her robot is super nimble and literally jumps up. She does the weird action pose and you'll never blah blah blah, and then does the full on rider kick. And
literally everyone has a flying sidekick. That's all of them, except for Double, because he splits in half. But
yeah, and it would have been great too if Peridot's robot didn't catch her robot and she said, "Uh-oh." It would have been great, but it was, probably unintentional. It was just supposed to be a regular flying kick, but very reminiscent
of a rider kick.
So that was super cool to see, and it. Nick and I were watching it together. Alex watched it by himself, but we all laughed and just saw it and just immediately knew. Just immediately put together the connection. Super great. Love it. Absolutely brilliant. So this is where we're gonna end it, and we're coming close up on the regular time that we do, so we're good. Yes. So. In my infinite wisdom,
sarcastically.
I set up all of these different great places for everyone to try and watch and listen and get in contact with us, and then completely forgot about them at all and forgot to tell everyone about
did Nick and I, so
about all of this stuff.
Really
so plugs. I will say plugs at the end of these episodes. So obviously wherever you got this episode is a great place to get it. But we are on YouTube. We are on iTunes. We are at tokunewsnetwork.libsyn.com, libsyn.com, if you want a place to just download the podcast directly. We do have the YouTube channel, like I said. We also have a Tumblr, tokunewsnetwork.tumblr.com.
One word, no hyphens. Just
one word, no hyphens. We got in on that pretty quick, I guess. So we do have tokunewsnetwork.tumblr.com. We do repost some things. We do reblog some things. We post some things ourselves that are super fun.
Like my funny 2 a.m. rant about female common riders.
Yes,
and their lack of them.
Great. So we would love to hear from everybody. We do have a Gmail set up, Toku News Network at gmail.com. So if you guys want to email us or comment on any of those websites, we will try and get a Twitter page set up. But I am terrible at Twitter, so I don't know what Nick and Alex do with Twitter.
I'll take care of it.
Alex will be your Twitter guy. So if you see anything on Twitter, that is Alex. I have nothing to do with it. Nick has nothing to do with it. That's totally up to Alex. He's a great man for doing it.
Give me 5 minutes, don't worry.
So, there's where you can find us at. Please like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Give us some more page views. Tell your friends. Tell everybody. Even people who don't care. Tell them. Tell them to go to this website and download this thing. Even if they don't listen to it, it gives us better reviews. So yeah, that's all for this week. We will come at you next week. Shinobi 34, Ghost 3, some great stuff. Robin Hood. Robin Hood's going to be great. So we will see you guys next week. Bye.
See ya.
Bye.